So apparently there's this thing that sexist men on the internet say happens to women when we turn 30, and it's called hitting the wall. And basically it means that when you turn 30, you are going to become ugly and old and unlovable, and no one will ever want to date you. So I just want to show you what it really looks like when you turn 30, because I turned 30 today.
Life is just not easy for the woman when she hits a certain age. We're talking about women who've kind of had this high life and then they've stopped getting offers because maybe now she's hit like 38, 40. And then it's almost like they've kind of gone into this dark hole now. It's so toxic, it's like horrible.
Well, here's the thing. Most men don't feel sorry for those women, and I'll tell you why. The reason men don't feel sorry for them is because the experience that she begins to go through when she's older is the experience 90% of men go through every single day. The guy who works at the post office, the guy who helped you pack your bag, the guy who delivered your Amazon parcel, the guy in your class, the guy that you worked with. Most guys are invisible. It is only the high value guys that catches women's attention, the guy who's tall, attractive, and shaped successful. So when women who have had that taste of a high life, have been that desirable, got all the attention, everything, they then get to a point where now they're being treated how most guys are treated. Guys don't feel sorry for them. A lot of guys feel that if you wanted to have a partner, have a family, settle down, you get to that point in life and you haven't done that, it's because you definitely had an abundance of opportunity to do that.
So yeah, it's tough shit.
This is just your daily reminder to never ever let a man get inside your head if he tells you you're hitting the wall of your looks because you are over 30 years old. These are the same men that are looking at Kim Kardashian, J-Lo, and Megan Fox and would be happy, elated with a chance with any of them.
Bradley, I told you I am not a widow, okay? I am divorced. I am an independent woman in the prime of my life.
You're 35 and alone. I run train on chicks like you. Oh my God.
I'm a single woman in her 40s. Have I downloaded every dating app? Yes. Have I deleted every dating app? Yes. Have I downloaded every dating app again? Yes. Have I deleted every dating app again? Also yes.
The wall comes for them all. Welcome back to another episode of Women Treating the Wall Like It Doesn't Exist, a futile gesture that provides us with lateral hours of entertainment. Western women seem to be the only demographic that refuses to acknowledge that age exists, clinging to youth with Botox, fillers, toxic rubs, salmon sperm, and pretty much anything else that peddles the lie that one stays beautiful and viable forever. The comments for the women scrambling over dating apps are, have you added 10 pounds of makeup? Yes. 2 pounds of hair dye? Yes. Body count also higher than World War II. Have you tried not being an attention seeker on the internet? Makes sense all women in their 40s are confused. How does that concern us? These single women keep making these cringy videos, and to what end? I don't know, but it definitely keeps the lights on, and it keeps the boys laughing. Win-win. Alright, next clip.
As men age alone, it is not good. Ask any hospice nurse or nursing home nurse or even hospital nurses. No one's visiting. And the men are not okay. But I'm finding that as I age, I am getting happier and happier with myself and my girlfriends and my family.
Leave it to a wall hopper to dump all over men on the verge of death. You only need to peek at the studies to know that anything promoting this lady's anecdotal reality is a complete farce. After the age of 48, some men might go through what is commonly known as a midlife crisis, but the phase ends and is followed with much more happiness than female counterparts. Plus, using examples from a hospital or hospice center to judge how happy a person is insane to me. I'd love to hear how our own comment section feels about this. For now, I'll just take a look at this one. She's lying to cope. She's trying to convince herself. Sad. Nobody is visiting men or women in nursing homes. Wake up. You can literally hear the pain in her voice in between happier and happier. Nice try. We still don't want to marry. Solid points all around. And yes, I was able to catch the pain in her voice too. Pretty transparent if you ask me. As for the last one here, that's a fantastic point. If you boil it down, this is yet another sad attempt to make men commit to something that chose to be on clearance. Next.
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 50.
Are you single right now?
Real single.
Have you ever been married before?
Yeah, I was married for a long time.
How long?
About 30 years.
So how's dating been the last year single?
I don't date. I don't have time for that.
So would you say that you're looking for something serious again at 50 right now?
Yeah, somebody that meets my expectations.
So what do you expect from your man right now?
To take care of me, to provide for me, even though I don't need a man to provide for me.
So you would go Dutch with a man?
To me, that word Dutch.
When you go out to, dinner, he pays for his stuff, you pay for yours.
Not really. You know, if he's a man, he can pay for both. But I'm not expecting for him to pay for me because I can provide my own dinner, my own anything. I can provide anything that I want, so.
You can hear the rope tightening in her head here. So many contradictions. First, she says she's looking for a provider, but then follows it up with she doesn't need it because, well, we all know she's taking alimony. Yep, this is exactly what men desire in a woman. An old divorcee that marries you while constantly telling you that she'd be perfectly fine without your presence. If I know men, which let me check between the old, yep, I'm qualified. Nobody's going to go to this used car lot and subscribe to a fleeting life of disappointment. The top comments are, so she plans on staying single. My mom has been playing this card for the last 25 years. She's 66 now, but she keeps insisting that some guy her age who is still fit and attractive for his age with a good career and retirement will swoop in and want to marry her. Needless to say, I'm already making arrangements for her to move in with me when she can no longer care for herself. She cannot accept the fact that it isn't going to happen for her. Expired. The catalytic converter is completely blown out. The second comment here is kind of sad, bro, but it just validates the immutable truth that women in the West, now liberated, are encouraged to act on every hormonal shift they feel.
It's okay. I'm 32 years old and I'm single. I don't have kids. But you know what? I have a house. I got money. I travel. A bitch look like she's in her 20s. Like, it is what it is. If I find a husband and I have children, I'll be so happy, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. And if I don't, I'm still gonna be living my best life. You have to have that mentality or you literally gonna be mentally destroyed.
Non-denial, denial.
I'm going to be just fine. The vocal banner every woman hitting the wall continues to wave. Lady, this kind of preaching tells everyone everything they need to know. You're not talking to anyone on the other side who's actually listening to this dreck. You're only speaking to yourself. It's a mantra you try to play and fight the rapid mudslide that single middle-aged life produces. Everyone here can tell that you're holding back tears because nobody wanted the merchandise, which is exactly why you made a video in the first place. The comments are, Shawty super lonely. She signed up for the Vivica Fox stimulus package. It's so funny that people act like being single forever is the move. We all want companionship. Do the work on yourself and stop making excuses. Cars, clothes, and houses don't define anyone once they're dead and gone. I'm just saying. I want to see a video like this when they hit 50. Why, man? Is the wall already there? Sure, it makes for great entertainment, but the fact of the matter is, it will be the same rant, just with 10 cats and loose cigarettes. She passed the marker, so this is how it's bound to play out. Next clip.
Was as a woman. So I think my value has increased because as you get older, you learn, you grow, you mature. So that's why I think my value has increased.
Women do not gain value in men's eyes with wisdom, age, and experience. They gain value possibly in your husband's eyes, but not to just men on the market. You're older and used. No product gains value. And you ladies will sit there and fight logic.
That don't hurt my feelings. I call for
I'm not saying it's going to hurt your feelings. It's the truth. Walking around with this energy, like, I know my value. I know it doesn't help you get the outcomes you want. It works opposite.
It's a classic, people. Kevin doesn't miss. It's true that traditionally married men didn't care much about age in most cases. After all, there was a time when a wife was a wife. You'd work hard and raise kids, and the woman before you was seen as pretty admirable, even celebrated for reliability. But the modern woman makes that seem like an old wives' tale. Thank you for tolerating the wordplay. The problem is that most Western women are just hedonistic singles who never looked at the expiration date on the label. The comments below are unsurprisingly mixed. I'm blocking anyone who shares his opinion. It never ceases to amaze me that women actually think this way. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Some men like seasoned women. This guy is pure wisdom. He's right. Men want to have children and older women cannot provide this. Ah, yes. Mother Nature. Perhaps the most ironic villain in the feminist narrative. As for the haters here, I'll approach them chronologically. Lady, block whoever you want. Nobody's stopping you except for the wall. That's coming for all of you. And number two, the word set seasoned woman gave me straight up chills. That kind of phrasing is for a burger, not a sexual prospect. Onward.
I feel so attacked right now. I don't know what to do. Somebody please send help. I'm just so attacked. Help! The gavel! He's beating me!
Somebody get this ham sandwich out of my court.
Wow, you usually never get to see this thing break the fourth wall like that. Damn. Additionally, dude, that ham sandwich comment killed me. I'm gonna need a respirator in my home before I look at another clip like this one here. This brings back a comment I've made in the past. There's a reason you hear the name Karen all the time on the internet, but you never hear the name Terry. It's because you'll never see a real man trying to recreate the Blair Witch Project in a courtroom. Speaking of comments, he said, "Somebody get this ham sandwich out of my court." Remember when we used to throw these people into mental hospitals? Why did we stop doing that? The ham sandwich doesn't realize she could be sued for what she's doing. Put her in jail for false accusations. I feel so attacked right now. Gentlemen, once again, you're stealing all of my lines. If there was a divorce case with this woman and an alimony agreement, that thing needs to be reopened immediately. I mean, I doubt anybody took a bite out of that leftover ham deluxe, but if they did, the man has a payday coming for him. Moving on.
Reasons why you should be dating multiple men at once. People are like, oh no, just date one person and then get a real feel for him, then move on to the next. Nuh-uh, we're not wasting time over here. We're dating multiple men at once. Let me tell you why this is more attractive. If you have all the eggs in one basket, what happens? You put a lot more emphasis on that one basket. If you have your eggs spread around, guess what happens? No one man has you. And what that means is you're energetically detached from all of them. And if you're energetically detached, that means they're going to come chase after you more because they don't actually have you. This will make them more obsessed with you. Plus, no man deserves you full time unless he has that chat with you and actually commits to you full time. Until then, play the field and have some fun.
Mr. Grinch?
Crikey, that's a look right there. Off to the mental hospital with you, sweetheart. It's always funny when single wall hoppers make businesses revolve around dating advice. It's like the 21st century equivalent of the suggestions high school chicks found in Cosmo. Is that still around? Maybe I'm dating myself here. Whatever, lady. It's absolutely insane that you're recommending that women ride a steroid-fueled carousel to raise their value. I could not have made a better example of an aged crazy female if I tried. You're definitely original, but in the worst way possible. The comments are, please send me who on this earth is dating this woman. I swear if this woman is dating multiple people or better in a relationship and nobody can see the errors of her ways, I am surprised. She has I cry alone in bed eyes. Try watching 10 movies at the same time. As an Australian, we do not claim her. Well, as any Westerner or expat, we do not either. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say this condition is a generational problem. You literally have Sherpas now that escort you into the world of, well, being an escort. Next clip.
Our culture switched. And like when I was growing up, I used to want to be like Felicia Rashad because I looked up to women that were older. But at this point, older women want to be younger.
Yep.
Right. So you have 40-year-old women and 46-year-old women trying to look like and act like the 23-year-old. Then how do you know? Because when you're young, you don't think there's consequences, right?
Yeah.
The only way you know there's consequences is someone, like you said, an OG pulls you to the side and is like, look, but really the culture is chasing youth. So it's like backwards. The older women want to be young. That's the only thing. Like, there are women, and I'm not, this is no disrespect, but no women in their 60s getting BBLs. Like,
that's crazy.
What is
right?
happening? What are we doing? So how can a woman who's 23 trust your leadership if you're trying to look like her? Felicia Rashad wasn't trying to look like, I was trying to be like her. But if she was on the stage with, her butt out and trying to look like me, then I wouldn't have respected her. So I feel like of course people don't believe there's consequences because the older people are lying. They're lying. They're lying. They're chasing the same thing. So you have rappers in their 40s and 50s getting into beef with Kodak Black. Like that makes no sense. There should be, like, in order to lead, you have to lead by example. Yeah. And to me, everybody is chasing the youth, the younger culture, which makes them disrespect. Why would I look at you? You want to be like me.
Thank you for sharing the elephant in the room every man has addressed for thousands of years. Women facing the wall or smashing through it Kool-Aid style will always talk about how their age produces some kind of power. And yet, when you lift up every rock, there are old ladies pumping their bodies full of anything imaginable in the pursuit of perpetual youth. It's a wave of hypocrisy that every Western woman seems to be desperate to ride. Here are the top comments. Proof that the wall is and always will be undefeated. The apps they are on are made for teenagers. I've been waiting for this conversation. Damn, so 40 is considered old? Well, shit. I'm 42 and loving it. I have no desire whatsoever to be in my 20s again. I spent my entire 30s cleaning up and healing wounds for that time frame, so no thanks. No, you didn't. No, you did not, lady. The apps are for the young. And yes, ma'am, 40 is considered old. You're lucky if you have any eggs left. More of these clips need to be in circulation, man. The delusion is at an all-time high. Last clip for you before we hit the road.
A woman over 27, it's time to sell. If you're a woman over 30, it's time to mark this shit on 50% off. If you're over 35, it's time to put that shit on clearance. If you're at 40, it's time to put that shit at the outlet. If you're at 50, Salvation Army.
Another classic. Rest in peace, King. Jokes aside, if the woman's 50, that's not even for the Salvation Army. A more fitting location would be on one of those beer pong tables people have on the side of the road trying to sell plastic champagne glasses. The comments, again mixed, are here. Hell nah, I'm 50 and I look good. I don't know, I guess the universe didn't agree with him. He doesn't have a voice, now what happened? All these women in the comments, pure entertainment gold. This man spoke nothing but the truth. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. A lot of women about to get triggered. Oh, they did, buddy. They did. You can always point out the angry chicks because they praise a man's death before addressing reality, ignoring the fact that the same fate waits for them around the corner. Men, if you're looking for age, grab a bottle of wine or cheese if you're not into that sort of thing. You'll definitely save your stacks regardless.
The reason why below bare minimum low effort men love to scare us with the prospect of being alone, of being worthless, is because they are projecting their fears of being alone and worthless. They simply cannot fathom that women are choosing to be single, because a man who does not have access to women is a loser as per the rules of the games of men. They cannot understand that they are not trophies in the world of women. Do you get it now? That's why they're always projecting,
you're gonna hit the wall, you're gonna be worthless, so many bodies, you're not even a virgin.
Like, that's why, because they are projecting their fears of being worthless, of being alone. I read this TikTok and I'll credit her here. She said that men love to scare women about hitting the wall because they're projecting their own fears of being at the wall, because men are born at the wall. Then they have to prove themselves to get out of the wall. Do you get it now? So they're always projecting their fears onto women about hitting the wall because they are at the wall. Bestie, I'm telling you, there is no wall for women. Women are desirable at any and all ages. Now you know.
And that's what today's article is about, to show feminists like this clueless one in the video the reality of hitting a wall. She's mid already, and so this is a massive cope and projection to make herself feel better. Right now, she can proudly spew this nonsense because she's young, but just wait. Once she hits the wall, she'll be on video asking where have the good men gone, or why aren't men actually trying to date. So today's article title is, Dear Men, this is why single women are sick of you. Us men are probably going to read this article as, Dear modern women, aka bedwenches, aka 304s, aka HOEs, this is why single men are sick of you. And it's written by Anonymous. It's most likely a post wall who wrote this. How would I know? That's simple. If she was young and hot, she'd have her photo and name and socials everywhere on this article. You've seen the average attractive IG thought page. Their photos of themselves are everywhere because they need that daily dose of simp validation. Getting random likes and comments by the thousands by random men is like oxygen to these 304s. You also don't know the age of this person, which means she's probably closer to 50 than 21.
Okay, so as a woman, one thing that I'm very sick and tired of seeing is all of these women giving bad advice, especially to the younger women. Because you know what it is? Misery loves company. I see all of these women in their 30s, 40s, 50s that are giving terrible advice to women in their 20s and even younger than that. So coming from a woman, I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to tell you what hitting the wall means. So men value different things than women do. They value beauty, youth, and they value someone that respects themselves. When you start aging, your biological clock is ticking, and that is just a real fact. Going into your 30s, your options are going to be less than when you were in your 20s. And those guys around your age are now looking at the younger women, and you're going to be competing now with the 20-year-olds for the guys that you want. And then now when you're ready to start settling down and possibly start thinking about having kids, those same guys might feel like you're rushing them, and they might not want the same things at this point. So then the dating market starts getting stressful, and then now these women are rushing for time because now their biological clock is really ticking and they want to go through the stages. And then a lot of them end up single, a lot of them end up childless because they chose to have fun in their 20s instead of looking for a relationship. And they thought that when the time came that they did want to settle down, that they would still have all the options that they had when they were 20. But then reality hits, and a lot of them end up childless and single, and not by choice. So don't listen to all of these women that are saying that they're so happy and they're so content with not having children and they didn't want to get married, because the reality is that a lot of them did, most of them did. And by that point, they just didn't have a choice anymore. And so they had to accept that now they are childless and single. So of course they're gonna make the best out of it. But what I don't like is that they're preaching to the younger generation that this is the way to go. Because if they could have chosen otherwise, they would have.
Maybe it'll be a good thing this anonymous hag won't show her face because we don't have to see her ugly face. Another reason why she refuses to show her face is because if she showed her face, she'd have no credibility or legs to stand on to make demands. People would laugh in her face and tell her to go to a retirement home already. Adopt some stray cats. She knows her best years are behind her and she's racked up more bodies than SEAL Team 6, which is at least in the triple digits. So she probably knows the score that she's way past her prime. Yet she still wants to make demands because, like most post-wall feminists, especially Karens, complaining is their default setting.
Modern, womanist, feminist, ideal. You want everything. You don't know what the world costs. And that is why most women cannot respect men. They do not understand what it costs to build the world that they inhabit, like butter won't melt in their mouth. Modern men have made the world too easy for modern women to where you don't have any appreciation for the infrastructure and things that are around. So you think, well, I shouldn't have to be nice to every man. Then fine. Gentlemen, act accordingly. Treat them equal if they want to be treated equal. Let them see how they like it. I don't think they're going to.
Enough talking about this post wall, let's get balls deep into this. Dear men, no thank you. Yeah, I said it, and I'll explain. Dear post-wall bedwench, we men already said no before you wrote this article. That's why you're crying about it in this article. Continuing, I am uninterested in casual sex with you. No thank you. When a woman says she's not interested in something casual, that usually means she has done it many times and is used up from it. But despite regretting it, she's addicted to the new dick. So if you're a player or a ladies' man, you know this PMS wall or playing hard to get is a facade. All you have to do is make her feel special and she'll give you the box. In sales and prospects that are the most defensive up front are usually the ones who are the guaranteed sale, because if you get past that, it's smooth sailing after. Same thing with a lot of these 304s. This is why you never believe what a female says, but watch what she does. She's done many one-night stands because that's why she's single. She got passed around.
Guys, I swear, I can't make this shit up. I thought Chivalry was dead, but apparently I've just had terrible taste in men. So I go on a date tonight with a guy, and he's older, he's old school. So we get to the restaurant, and we get to the table, and he pulls out the chair for me. But since I haven't had somebody do that for me in a very long time, which I know is so sad, I didn't think it was for me, so I go around the table, and I sit on the other side. So he's just staring at me. He's like, oh, I was pulling out the chair for you. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Clearly, I'm not used to this. And it's just so sad that that didn't even cross my mind because I haven't been treated like that in a very long time. I didn't think he was doing that for me. So guys, please keep doing those small little things. It means the world to girls, at least for me, even if it takes us a little bit to realize that that's what you're doing. And to anyone that's gonna say, oh, that's not a big deal, you should choose the men you date better, that's what we're doing. Okay, I'm trying.
Top comment says, friend zone next week. Exactly. If a female claims she's not used to being treated right, that means she was used, which means she doesn't qualify to be wined and dined. Continuing, there is no appeal to the nail-biting wait for a text message, since we all know a phone call is off the table after you sleep with me. Of course, getting played is not appealing because it makes you look like an idiot that you fell for the same trick for the 100th time. And why would they text back or call back if they got the box already? It's on to the next 304, to add another notch to their body count. Besides, what is there to talk about? You're a bitter post-wall who complains all the time.
Let's say he didn't text you because he was busy, or he's just a person who doesn't text a lot. But you didn't text either. And then he pops up and you give him this cold reply or no reply at all because you are pissed that he didn't text you. You are punishing him because he didn't give you his attention the way you expected it. But by giving him the cold shoulder instead of getting him closer to you, you're actually pushing him away.
Continuing, I want to go on dates. Yes, dates, not hangouts. That distinction is important because a hangout could mean that we're going to walk around a mall like we did at 14 when our moms were our only means of transportation. A hangout implies that we're bros. I have enough friends, sir. No thank you. It seems like a lot of 304s have been demanding chivalry as of late. And my response to that is, when have you taken these types of guys out of the friend zone? These men are tired of doing chivalrous acts for modern women and feminists because they finally realized they were being used for free meals and as a human tampon. They thought they were building a relationship after a week until you cried on their shoulder about a D-bag who won't text you back because you let him smash the very night you met him. Or they hear about the assholes who barely put in any effort in your so-called relationship, which was more like a situationship. Yet, these good guys can barely get a kiss after an expensive date.
Women, it's your turn to get called out. You know, the idea that you wanted to have a roster, the idea that, oh, well, I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna let some guy chase me because if he wanted to, he would. This is what's happened. Because women have gotten to the point of, well, if he wanted to, he would. He should chase me. He should pay for my nails on the second date. He should make sure that everything is taken care of because I can't do anything myself. Like, really? Really? This is what you've caused. You've caused really good men to stop being chivalrous because they are not gaining anything from it. They're doing the chivalrous stuff and women get mad when the door gets open. Like, but I can open the door myself. Really? Let the man open the freaking door. He's being courteous. Like, what? When did women turn into this BS, oh, you should take care of me, but I'm gonna do my own shit, and I don't care about what you need. You just need to give everything to me. Because the majority of my comments are very much and very clear that women have turned men who are good, who try, who put in effort, who have understood what emotional maturity is, and they have tried to put in the effort to women, and maybe they're choosing the wrong women, but at the same time, if the pool of women that are bad is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, then they've given up. So now we have the boys, because I'm gonna call them out too. We have the boys that sit there and say, well, you wanted equality and you wanted 50-50. So now we're giving it to you and you can't complain. I say those are boys because they literally are saying and gaslighting the fact that, well, you wanted something, so guess what? We're giving it to you so you can't complain. That's gaslighting. It doesn't work for me. We need to come back to the idea of holding ourselves accountable, recognizing that at some point along the line, things went a little awry, and then trying to find the crowd that we fit in with. The crowd of women who, yes, may be taking care of their own shit, but also want a man who can step in and kind of say, hey, I see that you are taking care of your shit, and I own that you are taking care of your shit, and I want to take care of you because I see how much you have put into it. And then the women turn and they go to their man and they say, I see that you want to take care of me. And that is very chivalrous of you. And you walk on the outside because you are always protecting me, and I feel safe and secure in the environment that I am in with you. It doesn't matter all of that other BS about my nails and about how I don't want a man to take care of me. That is so BS. Like, the basics of a relationship are interdependent upon each other. They're not codependent. It's not you take care of your stuff, I'm gonna take care of my stuff. It is like your hands coming together. They are interdependent upon each other. You don't split things down the middle. You don't say you do the dishes and I'm gonna do the laundry. I mean, you could, but like, it's a balance of power in a relationship. So the fact that guys are like the good guys, the ones who know what I am talking about, they're the ones who have said, I can't do this anymore. Because every time I do this, I get shit on by a woman who just wants me to take care of something. And then the women turn around and say, well, you're not doing enough, or you're doing too much. Can we not find a balance here?
Skipping? After that date call, it's not that hard. It's refreshing. The 2-day waiting period should be a myth. Unfortunately, it's not, but think about how silly it is. Oh my god, that woman was amazing and I definitely want to see her again, but instead of just making it happen, I'm going to make her sit around and wonder if I like her or not. Following through shouldn't be a rarity. How about you put in some effort and show the man that you want to go on another date? You're strong and independent. You wanted equality. Why is it that us men have to do everything? This is why most of us went MGTOW, because we did all of this only to be treated as an option. And what's worse is that we realized these feminists like you weren't worth the effort in the first place. This is why men collectively don't want to romance low-value women like you anymore, because statements like this tell us you're a leftover of Chad and Tyrone who smashed and dashed.
You killed them. You killed whatever was inside of them that would have made them actually act like men. Guys are afraid to be men.
Yeah, feminism has disincentivized men from being gentlemen.
Completely.
It's all back.
It's all backwards. Can we fix it?
Yes. Yes, you totally can fix it.
Even if you give advice to men, get them back on the right track, if women are getting what they're getting, fed to them, spoon-fed to them all day long, is that dynamic ever going to get fixed?
Well, okay, the solution from the man's perspective is you ignore those women and you pursue the ones that are actually acting feminine and like women again. You have to delegate. Your attention is valuable. So, okay, I only give attention and I'm only a gentleman to the women that deserve to be a gentleman to.
Continuing, I want you to be honest. Whoa, scary. I know. Here's the thing. We are both adults. I don't need you to tell me what you think I want to hear. She again lets the cat out of the bag and admits she got played by players who sold her a dream. And you don't want to hear the truth because we'd tell you you're too old to be demanding anything. And we'd call you an HOE on top of that. Women like you demand the truth yet refuse to tell us your real body count or how old you really are or how much you weigh. Funny how that works. Continuing. No thank you. I can call my mom and have her tell me I'm pretty if I really need to hear it. The idea that you feel like you need to tell me you're something you don't believe just so you can get in my pants is ridiculous. If I want to sleep with you, I will. It's totally that simple. And this is how we know she's a post-wall, because she's complaining about men calling her pretty but not believing it. If she really was pretty and young and hot, she'd complain about being called pretty because she hears it too often. She'd say something like, tell me something I don't know. Well, lucky for you, pretty soon no one will even want to lie about you being pretty because no one would want to sleep with your old ass.
I'm not making this up. I'm not pulling this out of my...
Back to the article. I don't need to hear some long, rambling speech about how incredible you think I am, when in reality, you're just trying to bust a nut. I would rather know upfront what you're interested in. If we go out and you don't want to see me again, brace yourself because this is hard to understand. Don't tell me that you do. Believe it or not, women don't want to be lied to. I'm not going to tell you some fairy tale story about how wonderful you are if I don't think it. Funny you've said that, because you've probably lied to countless good guys just to get free meals and free dates, just to leave them for the bad boys and players. So far you admitted you don't look good. Now you also admit you're the opposite of amazing, which means your personality is that of a blow-up doll. No wonder why you're single. Even a blind man doesn't want to be with you. Continuing. Please don't freak out if I want to talk to you. I like you. Stop panicking. If you don't like me back, see above. It's okay if we talk. It's okay if you want to talk to me or want to see me again. Don't wait until it's too late to decide you want me. This is just a desperate plea to the players. I say this all the time. Whenever the demand sounds simple, like please text me back within a day or please give me a call, it's because they're demanding it from these top 10% males who pumped and dumped them and have options. Not the good guy who goes above and beyond. Get some stray cats. They'll want you to talk to them. Continuing. I was seeing this guy for a while a couple years back, and we did the whole playing it cool and casual sex thing off and on for almost a year. Well, he did. I had no issue being like, hi, I like you, I hope that's okay. I knew he liked me back. Honestly, we were a good match, but he waited until he moved 3,000 miles away to admit to have feelings for me. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but he really didn't like you. The only thing he liked was using you for nutbusters, because had he really liked you, he would have spent more time with you and especially not moved 3,000 miles away. He only told you he liked you to keep you interested enough for a booty call when he came back to visit. If he really liked you, he'd move in with you, not 3,000 miles away. Continuing. What's even more alarming is that even though we've had the discussion about where we both stand, he's still timid. He's still weird about being anything other than bro-y about it. The last time I saw him, we went on this sweet date, and the next day he was so uncomfortable with me. Why? Who gives a shit? Can someone please explain what is so scary or shameful about having feelings and being willing to express them? He's not timid. He's embarrassed to be seen in public with you. Because if any of his boys seen him with you, he'd never hear the end of it. They'd call him a loser and may even question why they're friends with him. And if hotter women, especially ones he was interested in, saw him with you, they'd lose interest because they'd think he's lame and has no game. Men have a reputation to build, and ugly or low-value women can break it. Continuing. I don't need to have 45-minute daily discussions about the fuzzy wuzzies, but I shouldn't be afraid to terrify you if I have an emotion other than horniness. I wouldn't tell anyone if it's something you're embarrassed about, but you are capable of having feelings, aren't you? Yeah, it is something we'd be embarrassed about. If men were truly proud of you, they'd parade you in public like a trophy.
In China, if you're over 25, you are expired in the dating market. You are called a 剩女, leftover woman.
A what?
A leftover woman. After 25, you can't be picky anymore. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. Imagine China is Leonardo DiCaprio.
China is Leo.
The whole China is Leo.
I dare you to say this in America. You go up to American girls and say, you're 25, it's done.
You are already done for Leo.
They would hate that policy.
They do. In China, they do that.
How come you never say anything when they come up with the 25? Why don't you say that's how we do it in China?
Exactly. I wanted to do that. Let me talk about it. I think Leo is just following Chinese culture. Maybe he eat too much dim sum. He went to Mr. Chow too many times. He just have the Chinese standard. You're over 25, you're expired.
Continuing. In general, it seems like there is an unwillingness for men to be men. I'm not talking about when you guys take us out and open doors. That's sweet and all, but that's not it. I'm talking about the unwillingness to connect, to be vulnerable, to step up. I am flabbergasted by how few men will take responsibility for their emotional choices and for the damage they leave behind post-relationship. Real men don't show their emotions. That's why boys and beta males and simps do. The moment a male becomes vulnerable, you lose interest and move on to the D-bag. Men are supposed to be the rock in the relationship, not the tampon.
Yeah. Every girl is different and how they respond to that, you opening up your emotions. So what I tell guys instead is, go ahead and be vulnerable with a man. No homo. And the reason why is because guys that you trust, because men understand the masculine experience. Women don't. Women really don't know what it's like to be a man. Hell, most girls don't even know what men want, let alone understand the masculine burner performance and masculine experience.
Back to the article. Please don't get me wrong, women aren't innocent of dating crimes. There are women who will bail, ghost, use, cheat, manipulate, lie. People tend to suck in general, but obviously it's not everyone. I'm aware that there are men in the great wide somewhere who don't act like idiots. Otherwise, the human race would have ended centuries ago. Most modern women in the West do that actually, including you yourself. When you were young and had all the options in the world, you dumped the good guys who wanted to commit to you because you knew there was another one willing to take his place. It's only now that when your options have dried up, you finally want a commitment from good men. Sorry, too late for that. They either found a quality lady who actually valued commitment, or they've gone full MGTOW and never looked back.
You ever notice how women will punish good men because they're good men? I recently called out women for reserving most of their disrespect for the men they're dating. And I actually wound up in a conversation with a girl in my friend group about the topic. This was her rationale. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true, but that's just because we feel more comfortable around you. Like, we know you're not gonna get angry or do anything bad to us. Disclaimer. I really like this girl, and I know she thinks she's being complimentary with this reasoning, but I had to explain to her that if she completes the circle of that thought process, she will land on the realization that she is being disrespectful to a man because he is good. And I know that a ton of women rationalize their behavior like this in the same way. Newsflash, we do get angry. We just don't act on it. Why? Because we're good. This is why good men shut down in relationships instead of fighting you. They become what they believe is the least dangerous and most peaceful versions of themselves in these moments. So ladies, I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm just saying that this is a thing you do that you should change.
Most modern women mistake kindness for weakness, and that's why I tell men all the time, when you're dating a modern woman, make her earn your benefits, which is your time, money, and resources. Otherwise, she will not appreciate you. And don't be afraid to air a witch out if she disrespects you. Good men have to stop being good to those who don't deserve it. Matter of fact, you fighting fire with fire will make her respect you, and ironically, you'll get the results that you're looking for, because you pass her shit test. In short, men have figured out most modern women suck when they're not given BJs. Continuing. So, here's my request. Surprise me. Surprise the girl you're dating. Be real. Pretend like there are TV cameras waiting with bated breath for your emotional honesty. Share like there's a $1 million commercial deal waiting at the end of the season. It might work out for you. But we've done that, and it's never worked out for the most of us. The more we wined and dined modern women, the more entitled they got. All this does to these bedwenches is to boost their ego and fuel their delusions. They only want to be romanced so they can post the dates and acts of kindness on social media to dunk on the other thoughts.
I told this man go get me some snacks from the store.
You tell me what you wanted, so... There you go, mama.
And she ends with, sincerely, a bitch who seriously ain't got no time for that. Anytime a woman calls herself a female dog, it means she's very low quality and she is truly a bitch. Because it's no coincidence that she's alone because no one wants to be around her. So I hope you've gotten a lifetime supply of wine, because ain't no MGTOW man got time for used up modern women like you. Enjoy the cat piss. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.